if you're fighting, you're going to burn out in like the first 2 days.
I was a jerk as a kid, and she repeats that to me every month of my life. Putting coffee up your that's dirty.
Don't do those things.
Welcome back to the Dinks and Disney podcast. We are your hosts, Jake
and Ashley.
Today, we're going to be bringing you propaganda we're not falling for.
But first, these are our signs.
Yeah, we got new signs. So if you're watching this visually here on YouTube, then you're enjoying the signs. Propaganda we're not falling for. This is going to be Disney, fitness, and marriage. First one we start with is Disney, right?
Yeah. I feel like not taking breaks. Like people, I think, have this idea, and I think we did too, when we first started going to Disney World specifically, that we have to, go all day and go to all the parks and do all the things because we're paying a lot of money to do that. So I think some propaganda that nobody should fall for is, spending all day in the parks or spending all day like doing an activity, because you're going to burn out in like the first 2 days.
After the first time we went, there was like maybe an Instagram video or something, a foot massage. Like, yeah, if you didn't know this, I think at the Grand Floridian, they do feet massage.
With the spa, yeah.
Yeah, at the spa. And they do it's like a full deal. After our first trip, I mean, I think your toes were perfect.
We had just come from our wedding though, so that is a different story. I was having a hard time that day anyways.
Your toes were literally perfect.
I know we were on our feet all day the day before. And then we were on our feet for like an entire week, except for, the 8 to 9 hours we were asleep.
But after we started taking breaks,
our life changing.
Yeah, life changing, right? I didn't feel like it was that, that bad at that point. But for those of you who know, the midday Disney nap is next level.
Slaps.
Oh God.
It's like a shower, a nap. And then if you go at like the rainy season, which is now to
forever.
Now it's nice January. You get like a nice midday rain if you're lucky, and you get to like sleep while it's raining outside, and then you get up, you get back to the parks, and the weather's cleared out. And everybody else is cleared out too because it's been raining.
Especially when it rains heavy.
Yeah.
When it rains heavy and that rain's hitting the windows.
Serene.
Oh my gosh. It doesn't matter what was already saying. That rain hitting the window, that midday break, you'll take the best nap of your entire life.
Especially if you're there for more than maybe if you're a local, I don't know, you take a break for your own house. So that's totally different.
Yeah. If we're not talking to you.
If you're there for more than 2 days, it's hard on your feet. It's hard on your mental state.
Weird pet peeve, I'll just throw it in there. If you have a whole park day and you just lay down on the bed without taking a shower,
jail.
That's dirty. You don't even sleep there. Those rides are gross,
Another piece of propaganda we're not falling for is that Disney adults is a derogatory term.
Yeah, I'm not playing with that. No way. Because I hear that all the time. Like Disney adults are I've been called up for liking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm like, what are we talking about? Just because I like Marvel, or just because I like Star Wars?
Just because you appreciate a company that produces joyful things?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was, I think it might have been Michael Eisner. I can't remember, but it was one of the CEOs of Disney, and they literally said, our job is to literally manufacture joy. The craziest thing to me, and I know anyone listening to this who is a Disney adult will agree, how many of these people talking all this smack about Disney spends thousands of dollars a year on sports games, sports memorabilia, jerseys of another man's name? You're a grown man. You're wearing another man's name?
That's marriage. I also don't like when people are like, oh, you're a Disney adult. That's weird. You're a Disney adult. You like Disney. Disney's not just for kids, okay?
So, maybe just enjoy the things you like. And just understand that there's going to be a subset of people that hate you for it.
And if somebody calls you a Disney adult, don't take it as an insult. That is the highest honor other than have to doctorate. Okay.
Yeah. Doctorate, medal of honor. You ready?
Tell me.
Living with the land is mid.
Dude.
It's right there in the middle.
Living with the land is no.
I don't think it's bad. It's just it's boring. And I can only watch plants grow so many times before I'm like, yep. Now for people that say oh, it's a good break ride. Sure.
Agreed.
It's long. You get to sit.
It's not very air conditioned. I would rather do Figment or Soarin' as a break ride, because Soarin', I'm off my feet. My feet are dangling, and it's not a long ride, but they're dangling, and you can get a little blood down there.
Yeah.
That's not a bad break ride.
That's not a bad break ride, but I think Living with the Land is longer. I think it's substantially longer.
It's almost too long.
Well, it's almost too long if you want to be like entertained. It's not too long.
I wasn't entertained.
I've seen vlogs of Disneyland getting the Star Wars overlay. That sucks. Like I'd want the Star Wars overlay because Space Mountain as a whole for Disney World is fine. It's not like, and it hurts.
Yeah, it does.
You're definitely earning the ride. Like it hurts for sure. It hurts. But the Star Wars overlay, different ride.
Well, Space Mountain in Disneyland is just completely different in general, and it's way better. And I don't care if you like Space Mountain in Disney World, if you just like pain.
The teacups are also good. I'm not falling for it. The teacups are...
I like them for nostalgia.
I get the nostalgia, but the hard part for me is that I have none of that.
Like, that's fair.
I have none of the nostalgia because I went to Disney World once as a kid. I was a jerk as a kid. So I didn't like loud noises, fireworks, parades, like roller coasters.
Things that were...
Yeah. So I actually told my mom, no more magic. And she repeats that to me every month of my life, especially now since this is what we do. The propaganda I'm not falling for fitness-wise, though. I mean, can I start with coffee enemas? Those are my favorite. There's no way. Don't fall for it. It's crazy.
Dirty.
I saw a post, and the woman said that it cured her infertility.
I know, I sent it to you.
What? Putting coffee up your cured your infertility?
Henry.
I'm sorry.
Please.
Yeah, I guess Henry needs to bleep that up. But if you listen to this podcast form, Henry didn't touch it. In that area, it cures your infertility? I don't think that's how it works.
I just don't think an enema is necessary unless you're like in the hospital and they're telling you, you know what I mean?
That's wild. Like, yeah, obviously if you absorb coffee through your rectum, the caffeine will enter your bloodstream harder and faster. And yeah, you may burn a little extra calories, but what a feat. You know, like what
You're going to burn the extra calories on the toilet.
Do you have a fitness one?
Yes, not taking rest days.
Oh gosh, I
feel like that's a big thing. We're like, oh, we gotta work. We can't rest. We gotta be at the gym every single day. We used to be like that. Please take a rest day for the love of God.
We take 2.
Go on a walk. That's, active rest is fine.
We have like a mix. We have 2 full off days. We have 1 day that we normally just do like some weight training. So like no cardio or anything. I read a study really, really recently, and this is new data. So, this isn't like necessarily like fact or anything, but it's an interesting finding. They were testing to see if you could actually measure overtraining. So it's something that like people talk about a lot, but like there's not really like a measure for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can measure like stress levels and stuff.
But you can sure as hell measure your cortisol.
Yeah, well, I know, but cortisol goes up and down for a lot of reasons, which again, another propaganda I'm not falling for, but I'll get to that in a second. So you can actually measure what's called mitochondrial damage. And so I'll explain what it is. So your mitochondria,
it's the powerhouse of the cell.
It's the powerhouse of the cell. It creates energy. It creates energy. That's what it does. So when you have mitochondrial damage, you have issues creating energy, right? So you feel lethargic. You don't have as much to push in your workout. They overtrained these people on purpose, and they found that it caused mitochondrial damage. And it does, it heals on its own.
Yeah.
But it takes time, and you can't push yourself. You have to rest. Yeah, you have to rest.
The thing that I hate is healing your cortisol. Your cortisol doesn't have a thing to be healed.
I saw somebody post this on Facebook earlier that was like cortisol, it was this whole thing about cortisol. Anyway, cortisol is real, guys. I'm not saying cortisol isn't real, and cortisol does have effects on your body. It does, but a lot of times people are treating symptoms, not causes,
right?
Which is the problem. So your cortisol can be up because you're not sleeping well. Your cortisol can be up because you worked out really hard and you need to rest. Your cortisol can be up because you were stressed that day. Your husband, your kids, or whoever stressed you out. And now there's all these weird diets and fitness plans and supplements to help quote, reduce your cortisol.
Cortisol belly.
Yeah, your cortisol belly. And I'm not going to lie, I've been guilty of using that for an Instagram hook. People need to understand about Instagram is that I've talked to and worked with so many great coaches who the content they put out. For instance, I saw a girl's post today and it said 5 foods that naturally mimic the effects of Ozempic. And that's a big hook right now. This is a big hook right now in fitness. I've seen it in a ton of people's stuff. And they're not even using it as satire. I did a video one time, something that has the same effect as Ozempic, and it was drinking olive oil. And I was kidding. And I wrote in it that it's a joke. It's not real. It's obviously because you poop your brains out. You drank olive oil.
Absolutely.
Which Shaq did live on TNT.
That's dirty.
Yeah. So if you want to see that clip, most of the time they're not lying. Your cortisol probably is higher if you're stressed and overtraining and not eating enough. But again, we need to treat the causes of the symptom that is a high cortisol, not that high cortisol will prevent you from losing weight.
Yeah. People judging you in the gym. Yeah. I actually faced this today. So,
Some mean girls in the gym.
I don't even think they were talking about me, but I think it's really easy to get caught up in your head that like, oh, people are watching me, like people care what I'm doing. Or like, oh, I shouldn't be taking up space because there's so many people in the gym. Like, you're a paying member at that gym. You can do whatever you want, except for not wear shoes. And yes, please wear shoes and socks. People aren't watching you in the gym. You pay to be there. You are allowed to take up space like that. You're there to get your workout in just as much as anybody else. Just because you're not at a certain fitness level doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be there. So I think that's something that a lot of people need to like let go of. And it is very hard because I think everybody is inherently just self-conscious. I think the gym especially.
I 100% agree. And like, I hear that a lot from people we work with one-on-one, and well, not even just one-on-one, but even in the group. But I hear that, there's a certain level of intimidation that comes from going to the gym for the first time or using a machine you've never used and looking stupid, and like, I've always heard the saying that like, no one hates from above. People that have been in the gym for a long time are not going to see you like trying and then come over and make fun of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people that are insecure about what they're doing at the gym, just like you are the ones who are going to make fun.
Yeah. We've been the weakest people in the room and we've been the fittest people in the room. And there's never been a time where I've looked at a person in a gym and said like, oh, stupid trying that. Like, I don't care if you're like bouncing on your butt on a Bosu ball. Do whatever you want. If that's what makes you happy, if that's what's in your program that day, do whatever you need to do to get fit. If you're moving your body, who is anybody to judge you?
There's no reason to feel silly or stupid. You just got to do what you feel like you need to be doing.
Yes, within your means, though. If you're a beginner in the gym, please don't overexert yourself. Please don't push more weight than you are comfortable with or that your body can handle. And I know it's like, it is very important to, progress in your lifts.
That you have to cut out a major nutrient source in order to get lean. So what I mean by that are diets that say you have to cut out all carbs. Or diets where you have to cut out all dietary fat or all animal meat. Many, many, many people still think carbs make you fat. Or if you eat too much dietary fat, it makes you fat. Like, overall calories are what add body fat to your physique, to your body.
Yeah.
It's not carbs. It's not fat. It's not gluten. It's not dairy. Like, all of these things can play a role. And one of the things that always makes me laugh is when people do keto and they cut out all carbs, right? They're like, oh my gosh, carbs are the problem. I lost all this weight. Like, one, there's a lot of water that goes with that. I've done that explanation 100 times. So most of the things you cut out that are full of carbs are also full of fat, like donuts and hamburgers and pizza. Like, there's tons of dietary fat in those things. So again, it's not that you cut out all these carbs and you lost all this weight. Fat has 9 calories per gram. Carbs have 4 calories per gram. So if you stop eating something that has 30 grams of fat in it, that's 270 calories that you're reducing from your diet.
That is a lot.
So obviously, if you remove those things, you're going to stop eating as many calories and you're going to lose weight.
It does not have to be complicated. Please eat whole sources of protein, carbs, and fat. Please eat fat because it is essential to your natural hormone production. Don't do those things. Don't do keto. I think a lot of propaganda I hear is that like you always have to be happy or portraying some sort of like positive image, or it's not happy, or if it doesn't feel good all the time, then it's not right or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes like I've seen, like we've talked about these posts that you've seen on Instagram where he's like, I knew there was a problem in my marriage when I stopped getting butterflies when I saw him.
Oh, like, Lord have mercy.
Dude, how long were we all together? We've been together almost a decade. Like, yeah, some mornings, you're not going to get butterflies when you see me. Some mornings I wake up and I already have a ton of stuff to do. And I already have a ton of stuff I need to work on.
Some mornings you scare me. Like, what? I know, just the notion that like, if things aren't magical and happy in like a Disney movie all the time, then it's not the relationship for you. And that's not to say that there aren't some relationships like that out there. If
100%, there are no relationships like that out there.
No, you're saying nothing.
I get that with like science. I do. But if you live with somebody for a really long time, if you're with anyone for a really long time, you're going to have days and weeks where you just don't connect very well. Like, it's just, You're not even, it's not even that you like are mad at them or anything. There's just like, you just can't get on the same page.
Especially, I think for women too, it's very hard because our hormones fluctuate so much throughout a singular month.
You wake up, you hate.
I don't wake up giddy, I do, but sometimes I'm just like, you're breathing so loud and I just need you to get away from me. For couples in general, giving each other grace and having patience over time is very important.
Every time the movie ends, I'm like, where's the sequel where they've been together for 5 to 10 years at this point? And like that nice, huge gesture he did where he chased her down the airport was great.
Didn't he build her a house?
You're talking about The Notebook. I'm just talking about like any.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Any movie.
Oh.
I'm talking about any romantic movie.
Oh, okay.
Where like 10 years later, that romantic gesture is but a memory, but he's trying to go out and drinks with the boys and she wants him to stay home. And you're like, okay, well, like this is where marriage starts.
You can see it everywhere on social media, like relationships take work. They do take work. And that is not a lie. They do take a lot of work and a lot of patience and a lot of grace, but also it's not a full-time job. I think that's another piece of propaganda that we could add in there is marriage and relationships. It's not, at least it shouldn't be a full-time job. It is a choice every day. I won't pretend like it's not because it absolutely is. It's a choice to be with your significant other every single day, but it's also not like a knockdown drag out.
And I think most of the time, if you'd look at a problem and be like, God, this is dumb. Like, why am I fighting about this? This is stupid. There's even times where I was like, oof, that got out of hand. And you feel, you're like, yeah, that sure did.
If you're fighting, there has to be a winner. I think that's such a common thing. And it's especially like if there are people who are, younger, like we are, that was something that we had to kind of learn through our relationship is like, just because we're fighting doesn't mean that somebody needs to be a winner.
Yeah. And the hard part though is that I still feel that sometimes. Like I still feel like I'm trying to win this argument.
Yeah. Ask yourself, like, why am I upset?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that's always helped me to try to get into your shoes and be like, all right, why is she mad? So I can't possibly always understand like why you're upset. Or I can try to get into your shoes and be like, man, like, yeah, like I guess I can see like why that particular thing upset you.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you start to understand, it like really diffuses the rage, like almost immediately.
We've really had to grow up and kind of go through some of these growing pains together and kind of assess like how we fight and how we argue and make it in a way that is healthy and beneficial to our relationship.
Honestly, do whatever you want. Like if none of this works for you and you don't think this is going to help in your relationship or your life, like don't do it. It's fine. Like we're just saying
that doesn't mean you're with the wrong person by any means.
No, we're just saying what worked for us, what we feel like the propaganda that we hear that we don't fall for. We have a very different perspective on our relationship from year 1, 3, 5, 7. Maybe in year 15, we'll have a different perspective. And if you're at year 15 with your significant other, maybe you have a different perspective. So
let us know.
Let us know
in the comments. But if you're watching on YouTube,
the challenges that you face when you start to look at them as opportunities and when you start to look at them as grateful situations, once you overcome a challenge, once you learn how to overcome the challenge, it just becomes new tools in your tool belt to take new things on in your life.
Yeah.
So like I choose to pray and thank God for the challenges that I face because every single time I get stronger, I get wiser, I get smarter, and now that those roadblocks are out of the way, like I just move faster. But any of you listening to this of any faith, of any kind, or if you're an atheist or whatever, you can still relish in the challenges you face.
Yeah.
Because they've been put in front of you for a reason. So you can absolutely take those, learn from them, and then move exponentially faster towards whatever the goal is.
It's not going to make us bulletproof by any means, but it is going to give us a stronger foundation.
Good characters built in hard times.
Understanding that your relationship is a choice, your love for your partner is a choice that you get to make every single day. I think it allows for more appreciation for what you're doing to grow closer and to grow as a person individually as well.
The one that will always stand out the most to me will be the getting fired from my first coaching job that I was at for years, and I loved it and I didn't want to leave, and I got fired. But after I got fired, I started my business, and then it morphed into this, like into Magical Transformations, and now you kind of started this extension with Dinks and Disney, and now we get to do this amazing stuff that we love. That it all came from something that I was not thankful for in the moment. If you want to join the Magical Transformations group, it's our Disney Fitness group. We're actually just getting started to do our next challenge. You can earn a Disney themed pin every single month just by being consistent with your fitness goals. And we have a raffle at the end for 3 huge prizes. One's $2,500 towards your next Disney trip. One is an annual pass to Disney World or Disneyland.
Ooh.
And then one is up to $1,000 towards your flights, towards your next Disney trip, or the cash value. You can take the money too as well. But
this is news to me. That all sounds great.
yeah, that all sounds good. And then thank you to our sponsor, Legion.
Yes.
Use code DisneyFit at checkout. Their supplements are all totally clean, no artificial sweeteners, colors.
Follow us on Dinks and Disney, spelled exactly how you see it above. And if you subscribe and like our stuff, it allows us to do more things like this for you. And it will allow us to continue to post vlogs for our Dinks summer series.